Hi everyone, Melissa here. Today I'm doing a nice fun spring mani. I'm going to be doing, I guess it's kind of a color blocked layered butterfly design. I'm excited for it. For this design I'm going to be using Double Dipped Perfect. This is currently sold out on the site, which means I think she'll be bringing it back in April. Lavender Glow, also from Double Dipped, which I believe is retired, and Nod and a Wink from Double Dipped, which is part of her spring collection that's coming out on April. It's a pre-sale on April 3rd, and then they'll be shipping out on April 15th. But it's a beautiful periwinkle shimmer, and I love it. So let's get right into this. So far, I have my builder gel base down with a layer of gel top coat, 2 layers of peel base, and 1 layer of dip base over the top of that to get me going. So I'm going to go ahead and dip out my solid nails. I'm going to be doing a nod and a wink on 3 of these. We're going to have our design here in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and get those dipped out, and then we'll get to the rest. All right, now I've got the solid color down on these nails. I'm going to start working on the design for the other ones. So I'm going to be using my Micron pen just to kind of sketch out the design itself. I'm going to be using sort of the color that I'm going to be dipping into the color block because I don't want to use black. The black really shows through. And I don't want it to do that. I'm trying to make this blend in as much as possible. So I'm gonna kind of draw out the butterfly wings going half on this nail and half on this nail. I'm gonna be doing the bottom half with the blue and then the top half with a purple. So let's just kind of get where we want the center to be. Okay, I really think the hardest part of this is going to be getting the shape to be consistent on both sides. So we'll see how that goes. All right, once you're happy with the rough design you have drawn out on the nail, you can move on to the color blocking. So for this, I'm going to be using my 10X Tina base just because the brush is smaller. It's going to be easier to work with for small spaces. I'm going to go ahead and get the color that I'm going to be blocking down out and have that set down with the lid open so I can do pour over pretty easily. I'm just going to get the base liquid. I'm going to brush off as much of the base as I can. I do not want there to be too much because I don't want any pooling. I want to be able to control where and how the liquid goes. So I'm just going to try and fill in the space. And then we're going to do a second layer, just trying to get any spots that were missed here and making the color more opaque. Okay, once that first layer is down, we're just going to brush off here and then I'm going to take my little dotting tool and just kind of go around the edges to make sure it didn't overlap into areas I didn't want it. And that is just good and clean. Okay, that looks pretty even. So now it's going to be white for the rest of this. We aren't going to be doing the top part of the butterfly yet. The top part will be in the second layer. So now I'm just going to go ahead and block the rest of the nail out with this white. I'm going to be using Perfect because it does give really good coverage. So I can get a nice solid white with 2 layers, and that's what I want. Okay, now I'm going to activate both of these and file them so that the white layer and the blue layer are flush. Okay, so I've got those colors pretty flush on the nail, as you can see here, but there are little cracks between the colors, which will happen a lot when you freehand color blocking like that. It's difficult to get the liquid exactly where you want it to be. So in order to fill that so we have a nice smooth surface to work with, for the next layer of the design, I am going to do a dip of clear over the top, and then I'll activate and buff this until the nail is actually smooth with no little holes or anything in the design. All right, once that layer is good and smooth, you can do another layer of dip base. This is going to make it so the next layer that we do doesn't dry too quickly because of the activator in the layers below. Okay, once that's dry, I'm going to get my purple microline and I'm going to line out the top wings. Okay, so these are going to start down here because they are going to kind of overlap the other wings. All right, I think that'll do. So I'm going to do the same thing again. However, I'm only going to do 1 layer, and the idea here is that this 1 layer of Lavender Glow, which is a sheer purple, will make the wing purple here, but will make this area where the 2 colors overlap kind of a color in between the blue and the purple. So it'll make the colors kind of blend together. You'll see once I get it on here, as long as it all works out the way I imagine. So for this layer of base, I want it to be a really nice, clean layer. I want to make sure that it levels out really well. I actually don't want too much of this line still here, so I'm going to blur it a little. I don't want it to show too much once I have my dip down. So I'm just kind of blurring the line out so I can still see it, but it's not prominent. Okay, so I'm going to put a layer of the base on again right over that area, making sure there's not too much and that it goes on consistently and levels out nicely. So not too thick. Nice and leveled. Okay, that came out perfectly. Okay. Let's hope that that can happen again. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with my little dotting tool again and kind of clean up the edges. I had a slight like bumpy designness at the top intentionally. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So now I'm just going to do a couple dips of clear over the top, and then I'm gonna file. I will activate and file all of the nails. Okay, now that I have everything filed and shaped up, I'm going to take a buffer over these just to make sure that they're really smooth. Okay, and now I'm gonna use my it's a flowery 4-in-1 nail white pencil I got from Sally's, and I'm gonna do a little bit of detailing on this. So I'm just gonna very lightly kind of go around the edge. Okay, so now we got a little bit of that outline going on there. Actually going to blur that out just a bit on the, because in this design the blue is actually overlapping the purple. So now I'm just gonna do little dainty butterfly wing line details in here. So just using the pencil, it's gonna draw just some designs that look like they would be in a butterfly wing. Okay, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm just going to do a layer of dip base over the top of this to encapsulate and kind of protect the design before we activate and top coat all of the nails. All right, and there we go with the finished little butterfly. I love, because I did the white lighting just slightly inside of the color block shape, so it gives it this kind of 3D effect that I think is really cool. But anyway, thank you as always for joining me. You can join my Facebook group as well, Melissa's Mani Hive. I actually posted my inspiration for these nails there, so you can see what kind of things and where I find inspiration for my designs. Also, if you would like to try Double Dipped, don't forget that I do have an affiliate code now. It's Melissa's Mani's 15, and you get 15% off all of your orders with that. Anyway, thank you as always, and I will see you next time.